Hi, it's Ms. McKenzie, your K-12 District Teacher Librarian with this week's Makerspace activity, and we are creating Terry Runyon inspired kitty cards for Valentine's Day. Let me do a quick screen share. Okay, so Terry Runyon is one of my absolute favorite artists. I'm going to show you her website in just a second, and we're doing a super simplistic card where the kitty's tail, when you fold it over, will cover up the message inside because next week is Valentine's Day. So let's get out of this real quick. I do want to show you Terry Runyon's website. So she is a mixed media artist. She has a very well-known style of watercolor, sometimes gouache kitties. And look, she loves using recycled book pages just like all librarians do, as well as other little scraps of paper. So she's oftentimes collaging and watercoloring. And when you watch a video of her creating her artwork, she's just like free flowing, not, getting too worked up about things not being perfect. Anyway, love her artwork. And last year we created Terry Runyon inspired kitty cards, which we donated to the Humane Society as well as the Florence Regional Art Alliance. So we're doing the same thing this year. And I will take, I love the kitty cards so much, goodness. I will take some cards over to the Humane Society and gift them to the animals. Sometimes they'll tape them up around on the cages. And they help get kitties and puppies adopted, and it brings my heart joy. Last year we tried to do Terry Runyon collage style with recycled book pages. This year we're doing something a little different. And I've got another post as a reminder. We just did a virtual field trip to the Humane Society last week where the famous Mo Show, the cat rapper, was there. And so we have a recorded read aloud. I'll link that to this week's Makerspace page as well. You can listen to Mo Show as he talks about being an author and a cat advocate and a rapper. He's just an amazing human being. And then here's just another social media post from Bo Arts. I'm just trying to demonstrate how some of our community organizations and citizens are demonstrating fabulous digital citizenship. So the Humane Society, I love their posts. They are definitely demonstrating being good digital citizens in that they're harnessing the power of technology at their fingertips to bring awareness to a cause and raise money for the kitties and puppies in Florence. And then same thing here with Bo Arts. Joe Bedreau is using her platform as a business owner in town to draw attention to the Florence Regional Arts Alliance, and she's a member of that organization as well. They have this project called the Community Artists Reaching the Elderly program. So the cards that you make, some of you may decide to keep them, and then some of you can turn them in to your teacher or me, and I will give them to both the Florence Regional Arts Alliance for their project, as well as drop some off at the Humane Society. Win-win, okay? So let's get after it. So today's project is probably the most simplistic one we've done all year. You are cutting out a kitty shape and decorating it however you want and writing a kind message inside, and that's it. So we still have some of our younger friends in our learning community working on their scissor skills. Okay, and even as an adult with my own current scissor skills, it's hard to get into the nooks and crannies sometimes. So young friends, I will just say, take your time, hold your scissors still and maybe move the paper around. Sometimes that's a nice method to get around those nooks and crannies. Okay. There's no right or wrong. Remember, Makerspace projects follow the engineering design process. We are tinkering and exploring and thinking about, well, if I were to do this again, how would I do it differently to make it even better? And then we hope that we end up with a pretty product at the end. But you know what? It's all about tinkering and exploring. Okay, so I cut out my kitty. Then we finish cutting that out. And then most classrooms that I've been in, you probably have a scrap bucket of some kind. So I grabbed some extra paper from scraps, or everyone's getting a different colored kitty, so you can just trade some of your paper with your classmates. So you have different colors to work with. You know, usually I like creating my things. I don't always like that black outline, but I didn't cut it off, so I'm just going to go with it. And I'm going to go ahead and fold my tail over on my body so I can just kind of see where things will land. And then I'm going to keep it pretty simplistic. I know I love giving creatures big pink rosy cheeks. So I know I'm going to have 2 pink rosy cheeks. Actually, maybe let's cut those out right away. While I'm talking about it, I know I want some pink rosy cheeks to stand out. And I'll draw my eyes on afterwards. There's one rosy cheek. If you've ever seen any of the artwork that I do, I've taken art classes from a woman named Jane Davenport. She lives in Australia. I've known her for 10 years. And all of the girl faces that I draw, I learned to draw from Jane Davenport. And look, that's a characteristic of her style, is always having those like rosy cheeks, pink cheeks. Okay, so I'm going to glue down my cheeks and then just use a marker to draw some eyeballs on top. And no right or wrong. Kitties usually have, I mean, the defining characteristics of a kitty, I always say, are kitty ears, whiskers, and then eyes, nose, and mouth. Usually their little nose, if you do a little triangle, that'll make any blob look like a kitty. Okay, so I have that. I am going to, you know what, actually, I kind of want to look at Terry Runyon's example again. So let me go back over here. Actually, let me see if I can find her Facebook post. I love demonstrating using social media professionally. All of my social media, some of my content or platforms are more personal, but I always stay professional. Facebook is usually kind of a personal space for me to connect with my family, but I have a separate library account as well. And I thought I could quickly find the inspiration for today's thing, but I guess not. So let's just hop back over here and look at the photo. Okay, so she just drew some eyes like that, upside down triangle, little mouth. Ooh, she likes the rosy cheeks too. And then decorated the tail some and gave 2 little leg looking things in the front there. So I'm just going to follow suit and bring back up my dot camera. Okay, all right. So why don't I start with my kitty nose is an upside down triangle, kitty mouth. Don't stress about being perfect. She didn't have whiskers on her kitty, but it's kind of like I want to give my kitty whiskers. I don't know. And then for eyes, she could have, I mean, you could just do 2 dots, really. Stressing out about it when I don't have to. All right, and then I'm satisfied with that. I do need a message inside, and you can see how the tail covers up the inside. So it's a surprise message. So I want to keep that in mind. I'm going to make a little heart out of a contrasting color. We all learned how to do heart cutouts and previous Makerspace activities, but if you just fold your paper in half and cut out a shape that looks like an ear and open it up, you'll have a heart. And ooh, that's perfect. Nice and hidden inside. And then it's not going to give me a whole lot of space to write a message, but maybe I don't need to, and maybe that's not the point. I mean, really, you can do whatever you want. Freestyle. And I think on Terry's example, she just had another heart inside. It didn't even have text, but you could write, I love you. Happy Valentine's Day. You could write whatever message you wanted, even if it, came through outside of the tail. As you're cutting out your template, if you want a bigger, bushier tail, you can by all means make that decision when you're cutting out your template. Okay, you could just go off script and make your tail even bigger. You can freestyle. You can follow your heart's desires. And essentially, we're just looking for a little kitty card. So I'm going to call that good right there. I love doing these Makerspace activities with you every week. And I love that this week's Makerspace activity is also, we talked about digital citizenship and looked at examples of digital citizenship. And this week's activity is also a maker care activity. So we're not only just tinkering, creating, exploring, becoming design thinkers, but then we're actually gifting our product to someone in the community. So there's a purpose and intent behind this week's activity. All right, I was long-winded today. I love kitties. I love doing this every year. Happy kitty card making.